very proud of our players, the way they competed in the game. We knew it was going to be that's a great football team. We played at #1 in the country. And we had a great program, and we knew it was going to be a great game. We had to play well, compete well, and my hat's off to our players. I mean, we've had a couple of tough weeks, and guys growing up, getting in positions, and the experience is starting to show again in the games, and they competed their tails off. Great job to our assistant coaches for keeping our kids in it, being able to get them prepared, have the right mindset going in after 2 tough weeks, and what we did, and we were able to accomplish. And I think all 3 phases affected the game: offense, defense, special teams. We had the points, and there was ups and downs and swings in that game, and you knew they were going to come back out in the second half after our first half and after the things we did. And our defense, I thought, was outstanding. Even though we got some yards, they had some outstanding 4 straight trips right there that either they missed a field goal, got an interception, or something in the red zone. Even though we didn't let them have touchdowns. Did a great job there offensively. The first half did a good job. Then we had 4 drives we didn't score. We had 3 and out, and then we got a penalty. Then we had a high throw and a drop right there on 1, and then we had another. They tackled all 3 of our receivers, so it's hard to throw the ball to somebody when they tackle all 3 of your guys and won't call it. So that's a hard one to convert on. And then we had 2 straight drives that we scored. And to get down 38-31, to be behind after being up like that, and to respond back, and Zach stood in there and made throws. He got hit in the mouth, but our guys made plays. Our young offensive linemen, I mean, I'm talking about Father, he's blocking great players. I mean, 64 did a great job. Foster did a great job. Blake Trainer come in and started. Kenyon back at tackle did a great job. Our backs were chipping and helping and giving protection, giving Zach time to throw, and our receivers got open. We made plays at critical times in the game, and then a great 2-minute drive. We worked 2 minutes to death, and Zach getting back off the canvas and taking a hit right there, and didn't know that play was a touchdown. He said, "How's that play was a touchdown?" He smiled and went back in. He was fine, and that's what it is. That's what football is. You get up off the canvas, you get the heck knocked out of you. You got to go play. You got to go play the next play. People don't care, and that responds to your team. But our whole team did that all night. They stayed in the game and do it now. We got to enjoy this, and then right back to work Monday, and we got to understand the power of preparation. We got a very tough place to go play in Missouri and get ready to play this week, next week. Got 6 more games. We got a lot of football left.
We'll start with Nolan on the left and then Christy on the right.
Yeah, Jimbo, happy birthday, by the way. What was I going to ask you? How did you keep your guys believing that they could pull off something like this after the last 2 weeks and all the disappointment?
Eliminate all the clutter. Eliminate the clutter and win your space. Guys, there is no secret to this. Ain't no magical formula. They got to believe in what you tell them. They got to eliminate, I don't mean this, all the social media, all the media, all good, bad, and different. Knock it out. Don't read it. I wouldn't even read it. I don't. There's something there, and you got to line up and you got to play each and every week. You write your own history. You believe in your own self, and you're going to be trials, tribulations, and how you're defined by how you respond to adversity. Now you're defined by how you respond to having success, and that's what they got to understand. There's a growing curve in there, and they got to believe in what we did. They believed in what we were telling them, and our coaches did a heck of a job with their players now. Our assistant coaches and our players did a great job of believing, and the leadership of the team did.
And if you could just, personally, your thoughts on how proud you are of the way Zach specifically played after all he's been through the last couple.
Well, he has, and like I told you, playing quarterback is a lot of saddle time, man. It's the hardest position to play in sports, period. There's not a harder position in any sport to play than quarterback. And he put in the situations he's put in, things that are happening, and not with a full team around him, with 3 receivers missing, with 2 linemen missing, with backs, I mean, people hurt everywhere. It's hard to go in there. And then when you're expected to clean up for all the other, you got other young guys there. All those linemen, they all had to do it. They all are growing up the more they play. We've had some unfortunate injuries, but people don't care, and I don't care. That ain't an excuse. But at the same time, that's reality. And you have to understand there's a difference of what your results are and what the reality of why those results are there, and then you coach through them. And we're doing that, and we're still in the process. Just because we won this game don't fix everything. We got to learn if we're going to prepare and learn to grow from this and understand what we got to do next week. But very proud of Zach. He's a high character young man, man. It matters to him. It means something to him, and he's got better each week he's played. Each week he's done something, and he's preparing. He's learning how to play the position of quarterback.
Right side on the aisle, Christy. And then on the left, David.
I had a couple for you. First, can you just put it towards what this win means for your program after all the work you put in?
Well, it means we're 4-2, and we shouldn't have, we played 2 games we shouldn't, and we got 6 more left, and I mean that. I mean, it's a great win. It's a good build. Now, it shows you what you're capable of. Now, can we respond and understand how to go prepare like that on Monday and forget this thing and learn the things we did well, correct the mistakes, and move on and go play a good Missouri team? We'll find out what it means in the future of how we respond to this.
I know you're focused on your guys, but what does it mean to you to be the first of Saban's assistants to ever beat him?
It doesn't mean anything to me. And I don't mean that in any disrespect. Listen, Nick is one heck of a football coach. I've known Nick for years. I've considered him a great friend. Coach with him, have a lot of respect for him. He's got great teams. And the thing that means something to me, that our football team is learning to play against other good football teams and have success. And that's the important thing to me. And it was inevitable somebody was going to do it in time. So, hey, it happened to be us, that's great, but that doesn't mean anything to me because that's not a goal that I'm trying to talk about or do. I want our organization, our program to do well. That's the only thing I care about.
To the left, David.
Jimbo, you mentioned how you guys respond next week to Missouri, but in this game in particular, you guys respond to a special teams touchdown with a special teams touchdown. You also lose the lead, and then you come back and have 2 great drives to win. Just what does that mean to how you guys respond?
Again, it goes back to what I say, play the next play. Don't worry about the scoreboard. We said, I say that, I know that sounds crazy to people. Eliminate the scoreboard. The scoreboard will say what you want when you win your job more times than the other guy does. And you gotta understand to do that. You gotta keep playing. This game is tough, man. It's a tough game when you play it that way. And you gotta play the next play, the next play, the next play. And they believed in it, and they did it. And it shows a lot of character, but more importantly, it shows a lot of belief in themselves. And it shows a lot of belief that they have in their teammates, which is more important. And then the organization and the structure we're trying to build.
Go to the right, Cole, then Zach, and then Travis.
Jimbo, we've kind of been talking about a little bit the offensive line for the past few weeks and how to probably get it right. What went into the decision to play Blake inside of guard instead of playing him in tackle this game?
Well, we moved in, and we had a guy that was not available, that we, had violated team rules, we made a change.
We'll go Zach, and then Travis.
Did it this morning.
Jimbo, is this the potential that you always knew your team could have this season?
Well, we can if we play well, and every team does. And like I say, when you execute, it's amazing. When you're mentally locked in and things go well, and you learn to persevere, and you learn to push through things, and you quit when you're young and you make mistakes, like happened those last 2 games. They would dwell on them because they were not scared, but just didn't want to mess up. You can't look that way. You got to live in vision or circumstance. Which one is it? And they're learning to live in vision.
All right, Travis.
Yeah, Coach. I know we talked a little bit about the mental aspects of Zach overcoming what he had to overcome. What did you see from him technically that made him so successful, especially
He got
starting
on top
out?
of the ball, he got his feet right, got his shoulders back in place, he pushed the ball back 3 or 4 inches, which changed the angles of his shoulders, and let his hands get on top of the ball and let him drive it. And the one ball he missed, he threw a little high, he was sitting on his back foot a little bit, which is pressure. But then, like I say, then the one he threw for a touchdown, he stood up, got hit right in the chops, fell down and took it, and almost hurt his knee because they fell into it. I mean, that's part of it. But, he grew up, and listen, you're going to get hit either way, so you might as well throw it and make it a good play.
And on that, the pass to Weidemeyer there at the very end, was there a design in there to try to get the
It
field
was
goal?
going there. Listen, we got it to field goal range. They had to go knock us out of field goal range. They were going to come in an all-out blitz. They couldn't sit back and not play because we were already in field goal range. So they had to try to get a negative play, which is going to be a cover 0, which is going to blitz. And we got our tight end. I know my man-to-man on a 6'5" guy on a safety, which is going to have leverage. When they go 0, they're going to be inside leverage. So we had 2 on each side. We had something on the other side for it, and he made the right read going to where we wanted it on the matchup. I mean, they had to. I mean, that was the name of the game because you got to knock the other team out of field goal range, not let them have it.
Coach, we'll go back behind the lights, Darryl, and then over to the right, Joe.
Coach, could you talk about
Where we at? I'm
just
sorry.
Back
right
behind
back
the
there,
lights.
sir. Can you talk about just the 12th man and 106,000, second largest crowd in the history?
Let me
of
tell you
the
something.
state?
That atmosphere and environment tonight, you don't want to play in that, something wrong with you. That right there, the recruits and the people and the love, I mean, that's as good an environment and atmosphere as there is in college football, bar none. I don't care where it's at. Those people behind you, and I'm thankful we won the game for them, and I mean that for our players, for everybody who believes in us, and especially our fans, though, because listen, this place deserves a great football team. We're doing everything in our power to make it that way, and we're going to try to get it there. We've got a lot of work to do. We're growing. But this fan base is tremendous, and the atmosphere and environment is the best in college football.
Coach will stay behind the lights to the right, Joe Gleason from Houston.
Hey, Coach, congratulations. What was the locker room like after the game with the players and the
Oh,
celebration and all that?
very happy, very elated, very fun. I mean, letting that energy out, the frustration, but also very rewarding, and and also understanding why they had the success. They did. I mean, after we got down and then we danced and everybody was happy and all that good stuff. But then when we sat down and talked, they understood why did we do this. That we prepared on each week. We believed how we didn't look at the scoreboard, how we played, how we did things, and we got to go right back to that Monday. And they understood that and regurgitated that to me. It's important when you winning. If you don't understand why you win or have success, it's wasted. If you don't understand why you make a mistake, why you do it, it's wasted. And you got to understand why you had success, because you paid the price, you had the preparation, then you went and played, and you overcame. You didn't pout every play, you played every play, and you did it. And they were regurgitating. Hopefully, we'll find out if we can do it again.
Have time for a couple more to the left, Jennifer.
Hi, Coach Fisher,
Hello.
Jennifer Schrader with the battalion. How did it feel to roll the tide and fulfill your promise of beating Saban's ass you made in May?
Well, that was more, I mean, the competitor in me coming out when somebody says you can't do something. I have a bad habit of that, so I get a little competitive sometimes. But listen, it does. I mean, for our team, again, it goes back that our team understood and beat a really good football team. It was a well-coached, well-played, well-talented, very talented good football team, and that's what's important to me. Listen, I have the utmost respect for Nick Saban. I always have, always will. And I consider us friends, and I think he does too. But you know, we're competitors, and like he said, he didn't think he was going to lose to me either. I mean, I don't think I'm going to lose to him. I mean, that's ball, and I respect him for that. We grew up in the same neck of the woods. We think we had a lot of the same water.
And then one last quick one for you. Calzada was receiving quite a bit of negative feed on social media. How did it feel to have him live up to his potential and to actually hear the 12th man cheering for him
Well,
today?
it was great because I understand who he is. I understand his preparation. I understand what mistakes he made. He didn't make on purpose, and he's learning. And more importantly, I hope he doesn't read anything on today's. I hope he shuts that one, the old one, off, and I hope he shuts the new one off. You got to eliminate you got to live in the moment and understand what it is. And I don't mean that in any. The social media is the damnation of this world right now. I don't believe in it. I don't buy in it. I don't think it's good, bad, and different. I really do. And I understand it's part of here to stay. But as an athlete, it's hard. You got to block it out. And he can't embrace it all now by blocking it out. He's got to go line and do the same thing he did next week. But I'm happy for him as a person because he's a very high character quality young man.
Down front, Jesus, and then Mike in the back, you wrap us up.
Coach, 2 years in a row, Seth Smalls with a crucial kick to win the game. What has he meant to your program, and what about that kick
It's
today?
consistency. Like I said, we trust the process. When I went out there to him, he said, "Gotcha, coach." He said, "I love you, we're good." And that's what I always say to him every day when he misses it in practice. Trust the process. Go back to fundamentals. Go back to the reason he did it. And he did it, and he was very calm and cool. That's a big kick, man, a big situation. Very happy for him. He very well deserved.
Mike, you wrap us up back behind the lights, Coach.
Coach, back here, Coach. In a game with as many swings as this one had, how do you keep the confidence on the sideline up and make sure the guys?
They were ready. They were ready. They understood what they had to do, and they were challenged. Like I say, they were coming out to show what kind of character they had. And I didn't have to keep them up. Just go back and remind them when it was good, one play at a time. When it was down, I said, all we need is one drive, one play at a time, and they did it. And we played. I mean, our receivers are nice. And the chain was off. He was off the chain. The chain was awesome, and Nice was awesome. I mean, Wiedemeyer, Spiller is so, God, he is such a good player. I mean, all those guys. I mean, the receiver. I mean, you got Demas going again tonight. You had Jalen Preston making big plays. Boostrot almost got in there, and of course our quarterback and our line, and defensively the guys that did it, and you know they just kept playing. And then Chain on the kickoff return. I mean, the guy's a special guy now. I mean, he can run, catch, throw, and Spiller. And I mean, we got him. We just got to get him in the position to keep getting him the ball.
Coach, thanks again.
Thank you, guys.